Hey guys, I'm Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to talk a little bit today about managing stress. For all of you people out there who are like me and find it difficult, challenging at times to manage stress, easily stressed out, there are some things that I have learned that make it easier to deal with that stress and to prevent it from happening in the first place. And the most helpful thing is reparenting. So, reparenting is a really interesting concept and really helpful too. If we all go back and review our childhoods, I'm sure there's more than a few things that we can come up with that we would have done better, or we would like to think we would have done better if we were doing the parenting ourselves. Because parents aren't perfect. Nobody's perfect. It's impossible to have a perfect childhood. And unfortunately, some of these small mistakes that parents make do leave big scars on children. That's just how it works. It's developing minds, and sometimes children blow things out of proportion and they have these deep wounds. So you may have a wounded inner child who feels like they need protection, they're not getting enough support. And I've found that this is the case with stress, is that if you have kind of like a inner wounded child that doesn't feel like it can handle it because it doesn't feel secure and safe and taken care of. So what you want to do is imagine either what you can picture is the ideal parent, or just imagine how you might parent that wounded inner child differently. What would you have done differently in a situation similar to what you're going through now? Imagine you have a little inner wounded child in you and they're stressed out. How would you take care of your inner child if you were the perfect, ideal parent? What would you say to that child? How much reassurance would you give them? What kinds of things, what kinds of actions, behaviors would you start to initiate and get moving that would create some kind of change in their life so that they will feel a little bit more secure and taken care of and put together? Sometimes it's as simple as telling yourself, sorry, you got to go to bed. You got to go to bed early. Sometimes it's telling your inner child, you've got to do this thing. You're not allowed to procrastinate anymore. Sometimes you've just been running your inner child into the ground and it needs a break. And you need to be nice to yourself and say kind, loving things to yourself all day long. What would your inner child want to hear? So a lot of this reparenting work of the inner child is focusing less on what your ego wants and what you think you need to do, and taking a step back and checking in with yourself and your emotional self and seeing what you really need and caring for yourself. The concept of inner child and reparenting makes self-care a lot easier to follow through with. I think that sometimes self-care can seem like a waste of time if we're not viewing it through the lens of this wounded inner child that needs to be reparented. So that's the gist of what I wanted to share today. If you're somebody who gets stressed out easily, I hope that this helps you. Let me know in the comments if you are somebody who struggled with this. I would love to connect with you. And I hope you guys take care and take care of yourselves.